Thank you everyone for taking your time and joining for our Ask Me Anything session today. Um, on a Tuesday at 1 o'clock, it means a lot to us. Thank you so much for joining. Hopefully, you will learn or get some tips how to be sustainable and plant based in this whole course of our AMA. So before I begin introducing our speaker and asking the questions, I would like to introduce Samayu. So, Samayu, we are a registered NGO, and our tagline says Animal, People, and Planet. And our purpose is that Samayu envision a revolution in India's food system. We at Samayu envision a revolution in India's food system, cultivating a future where all beings thrive. We drive a transition towards a climate resilient, plant forward society, ensuring no community of humans or non humans is left behind in this transformation. So why Samayu? So Samayu is, we see the world as interconnected, where the well-being of humans, animals, and the planet depends on one another. Samayu promotes inclusivity and practical solutions to systematic issues, highlighting the intrinsic value of every life. So in Samayu, we have two verticals. We have farming vertical and consumer vertical. In the farming vertical, we work with the aquaculture and poultry farmers in Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh and train them about One Health approach and also regenerative agriculture practices for alternative protein sources. This is what we do with farming vertical. On the consumer vertical, we try to raise awareness about the importance of fixing relationship with food through our campaign called Food in You 2.0. And in this campaign, we try to reach out to the general public through different messages about health, environment, and about the ethics of treating animals equally. Through this campaign, we have reached out to 3.6 million people right now, and we have received pledges, 50,000 pledges for our 21-day dairy-free challenge. You can also check it out on our message about our website and about our campaign. Ask Me Anything session is an attempt to address people who are curious about the plant-based diet, who want to live a sustainable life. So this is an approach. This is effort to get speakers such as Abhinav and others to address different aspects of turning plant-based. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our today's speaker, Abhinav. After earning a degree in computer engineering from Delhi University, he spent 3 years in the IT industry as a software engineer. In 2013, he embarked on a transformative journey, dedicating his career to environmental advocacy, animal welfare, and humanitarian efforts. For the past decade, he has traveled across India, delivering inspiring talks on sustainable living and the importance of leading a purpose driven life. In 2019, he co-founded Kolkata's first sustainable community cafe called Ubuntu Eat, creating a cornerstone for discussion and initiatives centered around eco-conscious living. Expanding his impact in 2022, he launched an education organization, Ubuntu Verse, with the ambitious vision of building purpose-driven superhumans. Today, Ubuntu Verse operates in 9 Indian cities and 2 international locations, demonstrating his commitment to nurturing a global community of inspired and empowered individuals. So I'm really happy to welcome Abhinav today on the call. He's also been a good friend. And we as Samayu has also partnered with his organization Ubuntu, and they're doing phenomenal work. So please, Abhinav, go ahead. Please do introduce yourself. Give us more information about you.
You didn't leave anything for me. Thank you so much, but thank you so much, Samayu, Anushri, and everybody who has joined on in this lunch period. I hope that you have had your lunch, or you will have lunch after the. Or maybe you are having lunch and listening to me. In any case, it works as long as we share our common vision for a better world. I'm sure that's why you are here. If anything I can share today which makes your life or your vision better, my pleasure. Otherwise, definitely we will have a great conversation because Anushri is a great friend and a host. So I'm looking forward to Anushri. How can I empower today?
I would like to start off with the first question, Abhinav. So,
Sure.
what inspired you to transition from a career in IT to founding Ubuntu? Kolkata's first sustainable community cafe?
Mhm. I think the period of my transition, more than inspiration, there was frustration. So my frustration inspired me, if that is how I should put it. Being in an office environment where you have access to an air condition, your own cabin, at hands arms length there is a coffee cafeteria, and all that, those comfort were frustrating me because I was not able to do something meaningful for with the awareness, because with the internet I think we have almost everybody knows that what is going on in the world, right? It's not that, oh, people are, what, climate change, where is it? No, people know that climate change is happening. People are themselves now, they're realizing that the temperature which is rising. People have understood that what is going on, but it's a conscious choice some people make to ignore the visible truth. I could not. I was always thinking that I know so many things going wrong outside my office, and here I am doing something which is neither exciting, neither adding value to me, neither adding value to the world. So those, I think, kind of thoughts and questions did the some kind of churning in my mind, and it took me 3 years to, while I was asking question, it took me 3 years to come out from those environments, because sometimes the comfort becomes really addictive to you. I mean, you don't want to leave that cabin. You know that there's something wrong, but oh, who will go out? Oh, there's so much difficulty outside, so choose the comfort. But I think in the best comfort you can choose is to live from the values, or from the guidance which your mind and heart is speaking about. That's the best comfort. Otherwise, all the external discomfort are discomfort. I could not continue, and then hence I transitioned to being environmentalist, and then many roles for last 10 years I have played to finally come to this Ubuntu verse community, which is right now the current way of me acting on global issues like climate change, um, happiness which is not there in people, lack of purpose, animal cruelty, all these problems, and one solution for me as of now is Ubuntu verse community.
Wonderful. I even had a chance to visit and stay in Ubuntu Cafe, and I think it's something that is very wholesome as an idea, as a concept, to have sustainable food as well, and the way the way Ubuntu has been built, and the community that you have built around Ubuntu. It's pretty inspiring. I'm glad you did start this initiative. Abhinav, seeing your journey and what you're doing right now, it's incredible. Thank you so much. So, if I had to ask you, how did you start off your plant-based journey? I think you mentioned something about. I think you were working with Greenpeace, I guess. So I remember when we met, you were speaking about Greenpeace. So please do run us through your journey towards choosing plant-based as a lifestyle.
Yeah. I think that one of the best decisions of my life was going plant based. Um, but sometime, if you go back, so I was born in a vegetarian family. For first 23, 24 years of my life, I was vegetarian. Then, due to influence of friends and other circle, I started eating meat, uh, and other like seafood and meat was became a part. So I was majorly I was on a Bengali diet for 5 years. How a Bengali eats meat and fish, and then in 2013, where I left my IT job and I joined Greenpeace as a person who was working on the street, talking to people about climate change and other issues and raising funds for the campaigns.
Mm,
I was still eating meat
mm,
because there was no, like, not even a remote idea about that there is any relation between what is on my plate and what is happening in the world. I
mm.
was all I was all about that the plastic, single-use plastic should not be used, and the pollution from the vehicles and industries has to be reduced. We need to stop cutting down the forest because of minings and other things. But this information was not there.
Mm.
But after working for 2 years, but I was a curious person who I'm still a curious person. I'm a curious human who does not settle with the given answer by somebody else. I would like to find the answers by myself, and I think we all should do that. So I was finding that what is going on in the world, what are the reasons, and then one day accidentally I saw this YouTube video called "Best Speech Ever" by Gary Yourofsky. It was
Mm.
just an accident, okay, like just a YouTube giving me a kind of algorithm working for
Correct.
me, and I watched that video, and that video blew my mind. On that day only, I stopped eating any kind of meat and seafood because that video had that much power. But dairy, I could not leave so soon because in that video, the dairy was also not covered as it should
Mm.
be covered. And
Mm.
also, for vegetarians, dairy is not cruel. Is like vegetarian, right? Shakahar.
Mm.
So I was like, okay. So I turned to vegetarian, but then my curiosity was there. So I started exploring more. And then finally, I could find Cowspiracy. Cowspiracy right now is on Netflix, but in 2015, the Cowspiracy was banned. It was
Mm.
not released because of the controversial content it was, putting in public, which was going to harm many big corporates. So it was banned. But I read about it, about the documentary in some blog, and then I started finding it, and somebody, maybe the director himself, uploaded it on torrents so that some people can see it, right? So I
Correct.
downloaded illegally on torrent Cowspiracy because there was no other way to find out Cowspiracy that time. And I saw Cowspiracy, and for the rest 2 3 days and nights, I was not able to rest. My mind was not on rest, my body was not on rest. I was not able to sleep because what I saw happening to this planet, which we are doing 3 times a day. And the biggest pain was that I left my job to save the planet, and I am the one who's killing the planet 3 times a day. Like this is a big blow on your own. Like something when you do so much, you go and you try to save planet, and somebody shows you the mirror that my friend, you are the one who is a villain.
Mm.
It was a personal attack on me, and I could not take that attack very well for 3 4 days. But then again, I have been a person who is like, rather than ignoring because the problem is too big or too personal, I always want to find a solution. So I started working on myself, and it took me 3 months, you
Mm.
know, knowing everything, working as an environmentalist, and still it took me 3 months to get out of dairy, especially the desserts part. And then I
Mm.
could realize that if I, I'm a person who is already such a strong mind, I could leave my job. I'm working for Greenpeace. I'm an environmentalist, and if I'm taking 3 months, how a general public will accept and take this choice, right? So
Correct.
that
Correct.
that inspired me to do further whatever I did, so that if I took 3 months, other people take lesser than that, or at least start the journey. So that's how I became plant based in 2015 around June.
Wonderful. So it's going to be like 9 years this year since you
Yes,
turned plant-based. Amazing.
yes,
Um,
yes.
For those who have joined just now, I would just like to tell you that we are an organization called Zamayu, and we have a campaign called Food and You, where we do have 21-day dairy-free challenge. So I would request Shubham to copy paste the links of our campaigns on our website so that you can have a look. Um, Great, thank you so much, Abhinav. Makes sense. I mean, even it happened with me as well. I was also thinking that I'm doing the best for the environment, but I didn't realize that the what I eat every day also impacts the environment was something that was completely disconnected in my mind as well. So it took a while to realize and find my course of action key. Just with changing the food habit, I can influence a positive influence on the environment. um, Great. I'm glad that you chose this path and doing what you're doing right now. Great.
I'm also
So
glad.
great. So, I would like to ask you the next question, which is, can you describe the initial challenges you faced while establishing Ubuntu Eat and how you overcame them? I know Kolkata is a place where meat is popularly consumed, and it's it's in the culture of the food. So I'm sure you faced a lot of challenges while setting up Ubuntu in Kolkata. Please walk through us with that journey.
Yeah. So first challenge was that, so I'm a person who is a minimalist, and I can eat some simple food like dal, chawal, sabji, and idli, dosa for rest of my life. Okay, I won't complain that why I'm getting idli again and again, or why I'm getting the same thing. So I'm like, I'm sorted, right? Food for me, it just has to be that meal has to be just healthy and simple, so that I can focus on something which is bigger and more important. For a person like me to start a cafe is itself a challenge, right? Like, you are not a foodie, you don't have any idea about food. I did not know how to cook even rice, forget about the any other complicated recipes in India. So that was the first mental challenge to me. But
Mm.
for me, the real inspiration came to overcome the challenge was because I was doing activisms the day I became completely plant based, dietary. I was doing activism and I was trying my best that over weekends I was working with FIAPO and PETA, Animal Equality, all the organizations in whatever capacity I could do. And I could see that I'm able, because of my experience with Greenpeace, where they taught us how to convince somebody for the cause. I
Mm.
had a great success rate for anybody to say that I would like to go vegan. Okay,
Mm.
when I talk to people, there's a huge chance that person will end up saying, "I think I'm going to consider this going vegan." So I was like happy. But then
Mm.
when I was following up with them after maybe a week or a month, they were not following what they said, and then the challenges were that I tried for a few days, I could not find this, the alternative were not available, I was missing my paneer, I was missing my chicken, I was
Mm.
this, and then family's issue, the family was not supportive, my wife is not cooking the food, or my mother is not cooking the food. All these challenges were coming, which were about that they did not have alternative, they did not have support system around them. So all these, that's where I think where my entrepreneur mind got activated.
Mm.
So I don't know what people understand about entrepreneur, but entrepreneurs are not business people. Entrepreneurs are problem solvers. Okay, business people are business people, and entrepreneurs are problem solvers.
Mm.
Sometimes they are both, but the definitions are different, right? So I was not a businessman, but I was thinking as an entrepreneur that these are the problems. How can I solve? Alternatives. How can I provide? So that's, and that time I was in Calcutta.
Mm.
And being in Calcutta, this problem statement was becoming bigger and bigger because Calcutta has been like from, if there is a zero for vegan diet,
Mm.
Calcutta is on -10. Okay, was in -10, not no more on -10.
Yeah.
Now it is on +2 or +3. But when I came here, it was on -10. I mean, not even you will not try to go vegan. If you are found as a vegan, you will be shamed so much by the community that you will start eating fish. Like, people will actually start falling sick, not because they went vegan, but because they were getting so much of negative environment that obviously
Mm.
it will impact your mental health and then also then physical health, right? So
Absolutely.
I was like, this is where I think I have to take something which is uncomfortable for me. So that's where I left my Greenpeace job and I decided to do. And then I knew that if I have to do something very new and challenging, I have to teach myself. So I worked for 6 months in two different cafes, Terrason Cafe in Hyderabad and Real Green Cafe in Pune, to train myself how to cook, how to bake, how to run these kind of businesses. So I was on a training mode. And it was
Oh, wow.
like completely new environment because
Mm.
me, who is not able to cook rice, now I was baking pizzas, making curries, and making so many things. I was like, who am I now? And I was so happy because when you learn new skills, you like it. But there was a why behind it. And then that's where the Ubuntu Eat Cafe community idea came. So I was back in Kolkata in 2019 June, after 6 months of working. And then I found my team, me, Vikas, Shreya, Rishi. We were four people who had different skills but common
Mm.
vision. And
Mm.
that's what the best team is, when people have different skills but common vision. And then we together came up with this idea about Ubuntu Eat Cafe. It was a Previously it was like a bigger space. We had a cafe, we had an Airbnb, we had a community space. People used to come, watch movies, discuss, so that you have a food for stomach and you have a food for thoughts
Mm.
served at one place. But then because of COVID, we had to shut that down. Now we are in this small space where we have a cafe. But that initially that effort was bringing people inside one building was
Mm.
also evolved over the time, because COVID and all this period told that we do not need to be dependent upon the physical like spaces for the community building. We can do it completely
True.
online. So that's where
Mm.
the Ubuntu Eat became Ubuntu Verse, which is right now
Mhm.
the community model where we have community in all the cities you mentioned, and hence everything is just going in that direction.
Beautiful. What a journey it's been, and it's so worth it now. I feel like, the place you are at right now, and the community and the connections that you have built, and inspired people to turn plant-based and sustainable, and it's all worth it. I feel the journey that you took, and the struggles that you faced,
I'm
completely worth
glad. I'm so thankful to all the struggles, all the tough decisions I took. Thank you. Thank you to my past version who did that, who took that
it.
decision.
That's true. That's true. Great. So I would like to ask something more on, sustainability as well. So how does Ubuntu Eat integrate sustainability into its daily operations, from sourcing ingredients to managing waste? So how do you do it at Ubuntu Eat?
Yeah. So I did not think about it initially that what we are creating is maybe one of the most unique place in the whole country, maybe in the
Mm,
whole world. But then when I traveled and I saw the cafes, then so as per my experience, after traveling to almost all the cities in India and also abroad, we may be one of the most sustainable cafes in the world. Why? I'll tell you why. So number one is because we are plant based. That's what the major chunk of the carbon footprint and the cruelty footprint and water footprint and the carbon footprint, every footprint, land footprint is taken care because the food itself is vegan. So
correct.
that's where the greatest stick is there. But
Mm,
more than that, for me, veganism is not limited to the diet, right? For most people, it is the diet, but actually, it's a lifestyle, right? And it is not even just about animals, it is about everything, but compassion in everything. Okay. For me, veganism is basically when your compassion becomes your default
mm,
for doing anything you do in the life. It may involve animal, it may involve humans, it may involve anything. Okay.
correct.
So for me, that was the veganism. So when we were talking about the furniture, for example, so obviously, when you make furniture, new furniture, buy new furniture, you end up, if the furniture is made of wood, you end up supporting that deforestation, right?
Mm,
And if it is made by metal, then obviously the mining industry, right? We didn't want to support any of that, so we found some beautiful mind and heart people in Calcutta, three girls who used to call themselves Wonders of Waste, who have not done a big project, but we met them and we gave them the project of can you create our cafe furniture 100%
mm,
from the waste scrap.
mm,
Okay,
mhm,
so this is what you are when you're seeing because I'm sitting in the cafe. These everything in this cafe I can show live here right now. So this is basically a taxi seat. Calcutta has these yellow taxis,
yeah.
and when these taxis are in a scrapyard, all these furnitures are thrown. So they got these taxi seat, and this is omnivan furniture. This one
Mhm,
is
mhm,
the omnivan furniture. There we have got two omnivan seats, one there, one here, and these tables are made with cargo waste. The
okay.
cargo wooden waste, which are when they are cracked and they are not in use, they are thrown. These are made with cargo waste. All these chairs and tables are made with cargo waste. We have these kind of decoration. When you see the old bottles with the old clothings, they
Mm,
are the decoration here. Most decorations are here with the sustainable things. You can see here all these plants, everything in this. And if you see even these things,
mm,
they are made with the old wooden scrap. Sorry, wooden. I'm clothes scrap.
clothing.
The
Oh,
textile industry,
garment.
after
Yeah.
they make the kurti and all that, all these cloth pieces are the waste, right? So cloth buntings, yes. So they are made with that waste. And we bought these local artisan made with some kind of bamboo or some kind of those things, so that
Mm,
it is also sustainable and supporting. We do not have air condition in this cafe. Okay,
mm,
because so you see this, anybody who comes here, they have to read this message, which I will read for you and you can read. Welcome to Ubuntu. We are India's first vegan plus zero waste community cafe. You will not find meat, dairy, single use plastic, air condition, because all of them are causing climate change. All furnitures are made with upcycled, like taxi seat, like wooden waste. Thank you for being part of a solution. So even if there is so much of, and even this whole Ubuntu artwork, was made
Mm-hmm.
with cargo waste and other wooden waste pieces. Uh, we have this e-waste. We have partnered with Hula Deck, and
Okay.
all of our customers, if they have any e-waste like old phones and chargers and cables, we
Mm.
they can contribute here. We have also partnered with uh, another organization called Bintix,
Okay.
who are our dry waste partners. So every Sunday, whatever in 1 week, we have any, because sometimes you can't buy ingredients without plastic, right? Something come in plastic, right? Because if they
Mm.
are not in plastic, they will be their life cycle will go down, right?
Correct.
So we do get plastic from when we resource, but all the dry plastic packed in one bag is taken care by Bintix. Every Sunday they come and they get the one bin of Bintix. And on top of our rooftop, there is a
Mm.
compost bin where
Okay.
we send our vegetable waste.
Mm.
So you can imagine. And our packaging is also made of bagasse and paper.
Wow, that's wonderful. I mean, thank you for touring the cafe for the audience as well. Would really request, if anybody visiting Kolkata, do visit, Ubuntu Cafe for seeing and experiencing their food as well. Yummy, yummy food, which is completely plant-based, but it tastes like, meat products. So that's the amazing thing about Ubuntu as well. So
Yeah.
great, thank you for showing that tour. I mean, that's a very innovative way to look at cafe and make it more lessen carbon footprint and sustainable as well. Thank you for taking that effort, Abhinav, and your team as well. I'm sure it's
Yeah,
not
it's a
easy
team.
to
Yeah, I can only take credit about the ideas. That okay,
do.
let's do this. But rest the work and implementation is done by Shreya, Vikas, Rishi, and the team inside. Without them, this was just another idea on the paper. So thanks to them.
Makes sense. Great. So I would like to move on to the next question now. So what has been the community response to Ubuntu Eat, and how has it influenced local perceptions of sustainability and plant-based diet?
Can you repeat again?
So, what has been the community response to Ubuntu Eat, and how has it influenced local perception about sustainability and plant-based diet?
So, as we are specifically, surrounded by Bengalis
Hmm.
who have very staunch, stand on meat and
Hmm.
fish and dairy product. Without that, their culture doesn't exist, right?
True.
Is that much close, that much deep. So we had to Shreya, who's my partner. She came up with these ideas that why don't we create the food which does not let them know that we have changed anything, right?
Hmm.
Because if they want to eat fish fry, how about if we give the fish fry? Because it is understandable that somebody has been eating fish fry for 30 years of their life,
Hmm.
and suddenly today if somebody tells them it is not good for environment, they have to evolve their taste buds and habits, which is most difficult thing to evolve, right?
True. True.
So why don't we make it easy for them so that we give them the fish fry which they can enjoy without hurting fish, hurting environment, hurting oceans and anything. So that was the idea. So our whole menu, that's why it looks like mutton biryani, butter chicken, fish fry. My everything is plant based. Fish fry, prawn curry, cheesy pizza, everything is plant based by the way.
Hmm.
And thankful to all the feedbacks and inputs that our menu became so delicious with the time with their experiments that now we get 70-80% people who come here are still meat eaters who have come here because they have heard about good thing about veganism. Some friend told them, some referred them, they read about it, and then they googled it and they
Hmm.
found there's a cafe in Calcutta, so they thought let me go and try. And when they come here, so information has been reaching to them from many sources, because right now veganism is a talk of the whole world, right?
True. True.
In whatever way. So they reach information, but the moment they read the information, they Google it, and that's where our role is. The
Hmm.
moment they Google it, they find our name on top of the list because we are the only vegan cafe in the city, and
Hmm.
then they come here, and then it is our responsibility now that if we would have provided them a food which looks like salad and a smoothie, which
Hmm.
for them is not at all a food they go out to eat,
True.
then they would have gone back to the same lifestyle, exactly same. But
Correct.
when they come here and when they get to eat their fish fry and their mutton biryani, so the awareness which they got that meat is not helping in the planet, but then they know I don't need to change eating my mutton biryani.
Correct.
That is the magic where people say, okay, so I can eat mutton biryani, and while the planet is safe or I'm healthier, nice. So then I can eat it. So this menu has been definitely changing a lot in people. That I'm not saying that they have stopped eating mutton biryani, but they have become conscious to if the possibility of eating from outside, they order a mutton biryani or our fish
Yeah.
fry or our butter chicken, and then feel good about it. That my taste bud did not get to know that I have become a better human, conscious human for the planet. So that is the one way, food. And the second way is with the building community. Because as I said, there were two problems I figured out. Number one was the alternatives, which
Correct.
were equally delicious. And number two was support system for them. Because we
Mm,
humans are social animals. And we
correct.
don't want to cut off from the society because we are big changing, right?
Mm,
So we want to remain connected. But somehow, because veganism is not, still on initial days, like in world, maybe we are 1 or 2% of the population of the planet. So obviously
mm,
we have to cut off from 98% of the world, and that is not sustainable for humans.
true. True.
So I started calling people for potluck. So first it was happening in cafe, and then people started calling in their own house. So
Mm,
every month, anybody who has been following vegan diet or wants to know about vegan diet is a curious
mm,
person or just wants to enjoy good food and good environment. And
correct.
then magic happens when they feel that good food and good environment also comes with good effect for planet and for their health. So they keep coming, and we have these community meetups. Calcutta was the city where we started it, and
Okay.
then this is the city which have given birth to other cities and which are 10 cities. So through food and through community, we have been inspiring people to take step by step closer to conscious and plant-based lifestyle.
That's amazing. I mean, just seeing that community that you have built across different cities, holding the same message and making sure it's replicated everywhere. I think that requires a lot of energy to put into people. And, I mean, that's a tremendous work. It's not like you're working with the machines, you're working with the people. And I mean, that's amazing. I mean, hats off to you and your patience and tolerance. I'm sure in this journey you have learned a lot about being patient and tolerant, and dealing with all kinds of people, and making this community stand, and keep sustainable. I mean, make sure it's happening continues throughout, and it keeps growing bigger, and I can see every month you're expanding your community to different cities. And I mean, I don't know what to say. We need someone like you who keeps doing this tireless work of creating more impact through people. It's amazing, Abhinav. Thank you
And
for
now,
sharing.
now my mission is to make more Abhinav.
Yeah, we would
That's
need
it.
more Abhinav for sure.
That's it. That's it. I'm focused on completely on making more Abhinav, and those people are taking it. So right now, actually, if you see in this community itself, you see Vijaya, you see Asumi, you
Mm,
see Abhishek, you see Mukesh. There are a lot of people who join from our community, Hiru, who are basically just me in a different physical form. Okay, they look like who they are, but inside they are doing exactly what I was doing: mission of Ubuntu, mission of compassion, building people, communities, and they have become my extended hands.
mm,
Like I feel like I have 100 hands now all across the world because of these people, and it's just that I need to keep taking care of these hands little, and these hands are taking care of a lot on other end. So it is really I'm nothing without this community, without these helping hands and hearts. They have been taking the mission of Ubuntu, because otherwise physical limits are there. I could not travel to so many places to launch
true.
community and to hold the
Mm,
community and to bring these people together. But the spiritual limits are not. The spiritual approach is limitless. So right now, I've got connected to these spirits who have exactly similar vision, and their different skill and passion, and that together we are building something so beautiful. I can't just explain what is going on every single day in our communities. New things, new cities, new talks, new chapters. I'm so overwhelmed, but so grateful for everything which is going on. I think it's great.
that's wonderful. It's very inspiring as well. Hope, I mean, more cheers to your community, and hope it just keeps thriving and and keep expanding as well. Having said that, Abhinav, we have a question from the audience
Yeah,
saying,
sure.
how can a plant-based lifestyle impact the fight from global warming? I think what he means to say is, how can a plant-based lifestyle fight global warming?
Yeah, so I call it basically how to save planet three times a day.
Mm,
That's the approach I take. Because our planet is going through whatever changes in temperature, in weather pattern change, and the climate change and deforestation. There are multiple activities of humans. This has been proven that it is the human who has been driving these changes on the planet Earth because of the impact we are leaving on the planet. It's not natural. So and what are we doing? So we are doing multiple activities, like from morning when we get up we get up, we take a toothbrush, right?
mm,
And that's the first thing which we are as a consumer we are using it. And right now there is some fact which says that every year around 1 billion or 3 billion toothbrush are dumped in oceans. Okay,
mm,
so with that brush there comes the responsibilities. It starts with that. And when you go to sleep at night, before you go to sleep, people usually do face wash, right?
mm.
Then they sleep. In the face wash, a lot of face wash who are using these days the plastic, those beads,
Eats.
right?
Yeah.
Which are causing microplastic, which are causing
Mm,
the problem in the planet, and they are also tested on animals, right? So if you see, we as a human, from the morning first choice till the last choice of the day, we have been taking choices which are impacting the planet in a good way or a bad way, right?
correct.
Now, the most frequent choice we make, which is the food one. We have a
Mm,
breakfast, then we have a lunch, then we have snacks, then we have a dinner. And some people have, even between breakfast and lunch, there is a snack. So four
mm,
to five times, right? We eat something. So because it's one of the most frequent, and then if you see your food, any single food, right? Even if it is plant-based or meat, there are hundreds of people and factors which have worked around that food. For example, if we take a talk about chicken, okay,
mm,
because chicken in India is number one animal product consumed in India, right? So if you talk about chicken, how the chicken is grown, what food the chicken has eaten, what
mm,
kind of water went into chicken, what kind of steroid and antibiotic went into chicken, then where it was grown, in that facility how many people were working, what is their health conditions. It goes like, there is so much things happening. And then the food of the chicken, where it is coming from, what that food is doing to the planet. So if you just talk about chicken,
true.
a chicken in its life span of 45 days, like it is born
Mm,
and then in 45 days it is consumed, is it consumes around 3.3 kg of grains,
mm,
which is if you cook 3.3 kg of rice, it is food for 20 humans. So a
mm,
chicken in its 45 days consumes 20 people humans food, and a chicken can be consumed by maximum 4 to 5 humans, right?
correct.
So it's just this one factor. There is a 5:1 ratio of the
Absolutely.
chicken. And if you multiply the number of chicken which is sold in India,
Mm,
your mind will not stop working. That how much food is going to chicken and how less food is coming out of that. And then we talk about world hunger, right?
mm,
Then, as I think Abhishek asked about global warming, the water and the deforestation,
mm,
all these food which chickens are consuming, you have to grow the food, and for that there's no land. So according to the our world in data dot org, this is the website for the largest data for everything. They are saying that
mm,
currently we are using 4 billion hectares of land for growing our food. In
mm,
that, 60% of the land is only used for livestock grazing,
mm,
and in 40%, in that 40%, 45% of the land is used to create crops for the animals.
mm,
So that means around 70% of the total land in the planet Earth is only used to create the animal food for humans. And only
correct.
then whatever the rest is small. And the
Mm,
data says that if whole world goes vegan, we will require only 1 billion land, which is 25% of the 4 billion land. Like 4 billion land,
mm,
it will be reduced to only 1 billion land, and it will provide all the nutrition to the whole planet. So when we release that 3 billion land from the commercial agriculture, it will have forest, it will recover, and that will become a greenhouse gas balancer, and that will
Correct.
create a good environment. So there are so many factors about greenhouse gas. There is also one factor which says that greenhouse gases released by animal agriculture is a factor. FAO says it around 14%. World Watch Organization says 51%, and
Mm,
recently climate healers Dr. Shailesh Rao told it is 82%. Okay.
mm,
Anyway, whatever is the truth, the thing is it is one of the largest greenhouse gas emission.
mm.
And greenhouse gas is the why the heat is happening. The trap of the gases is trapping the heat. So if we
Abs-
stop or reduce eating meat, and I'm giving chicken example, but you can do the same thing with the milk, with the fish, with the goat, with the cow, with the pig, all animals, because the same
mm,
thing is goes in different ratios. So hence, by eating 3 times plant-based food, you can reduce your water consumption to almost 1/100th, one
mm.
like that, right? So you can consume the food which is like 1/5 of what, because when you eat chicken, you're eating 5 times more food than what you should eat. Then about greenhouse gas emissions. So there are so many factors. I think people should watch Cowspiracy to know the details what exactly is happening. But these are the some top layers information which I wanted to give here.
Wonderful. Thank you for explaining that in detail. Um, I think hopefully, Abhishek, you got your answer. Having said that, I would invite other attendees to ask questions. I can see vegan Ashish made a statement saying we are running out of water in major cities, but no one talks about the impact of plant-based diet and water conservation. That's really true. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, it's same thing in
I,
Bangalore
I
as
would I
well.
would say Ashish, you are. I know Ashish. He is a great activist. I would say just let's not say no one. Let's say less people are talking. You are talking, and is talking. These people. So less people are talking. It's not no one, and I'm sure that together we will make that less people to more people, either
Yeah,
by force, because when these people do not get water, they will start talking anyways, or we will inspire them to become activists like how Ashish and other people are here. So yes.
wonderful. Um, um, I would like to ask a question regarding what you just said about, reducing our consumption and dependence on animal-based food. What do you think what are repercussions that may face by the producers? What do you think about that? Like, we do know that, India is an agricultural country, and there is so much dependence on, farmers, and farmers depend on not just the crops as well, but as well as animal based agriculture systems such as poultry farming, aquaculture, dairy industry. So how do you see this being solved in the future, if I may ask?
Yeah, very important question here. And when we see for a normal human, I mean the person who is working 9 to 5 jobs and has no connection with agriculture, farming. Hold on.
You're on mute, Abhinav.
Actually, there was a noise on background. Yeah.
Okay.
So for a normal person, when you talk to them about agriculture,
Hmm.
right, what they imagine is the लहलहाते हुए खेत, I mean the green cover, right? Those
Yeah.
green crops. But agriculture is divided into two parts: livestock and plant. And
Hmm.
livestock is the largest. As I told you that how much the amount of land is used for for the livestock agriculture.
Right.
So we cannot live without farmers. Number one, but all the farmers who are working for agriculture uh, are also facing the climate change, right?
True.
They are also going through, if you know the how every year the news will come. This year I'm sure the news is going to be more worse than the last few years. There are so many
Yes.
farmers committed suicide. So many lands became without water. The heat wave has caused this. So farmers are already under stress. Number one.
Hmm.
Number two, I was seeing this documentary called Maka Doodh,
Hmm.
where this Harsha Atmakuri is the director and also narrator of the movie. He went to dairy farmers asking them, do they make profits? And they said no. They are not making even profits. They are going in loss. They are having
Hmm.
subsidies, and even then there is a loans they have to pay. And because they do not have alternative solutions, or or that they don't have a breathing space that they can stop one business and go to another business, because they have constantly giving loan or taking care of the families and everything. They are just stuck there.
Mm.
So the second factor, that even these farmers are not making money, they are also in loss, right? How many farmers you see who are very rich, right? They are still just trying to meet their basic needs.
True.
And people who make money are the middlemen who are
Mm.
using the farmers produces and then sell it for 10 times more, right? So remove the middleman. Okay.
Right.
And even animal is exactly a middleman. That's what is told. Like all the nutrition comes to the plants, and animals are just middlemen. They eat them and then you eat them. Directly go to the
Mm.
plants. So if we
Correct.
directly start eating plants, we will actually remove middlemen also, and not as animal, but also as animal agriculture and as these companies. And the last thing we have wanted to talk about, that even in the livestock, especially people who handle these animals, work with them, there has been a lot of studies about their mental health. Like
Mm.
they're not doing good. They are suicidal, or they are very prone to cause some criminal activities in their family or nearby, because they are constantly uh, surrounded by the cruelty which they have to do because of the business. They have to kill animals, or they have to handle dead animals. They have to handle the blood and all that thing.
Mm.
So in no way the farmers are in benefit of it. But if you go plant based, you will see that people will not stop eating. They will eat plants, right? And who will grow the plants? Farmers, right?
True.
So farmers will still grow food. Farmers will still work on that. Like if there is a soya milk company, if there is soya milk requirement goes high, there are a lot of people who have to grow soya bean and make soya milk and then make tofu. So it's just like how it was said when the computer was coming, that oh, computer is coming, so people will lose the job. Who will do that? It's just like
Mm.
that. Like computer has not made the people lose job, but only people became like smarter, and they found more jobs, different type of jobs, right? So
True.
something like that will happen when vegan lifestyle becomes popular. More and more opportunities will come. Farmers will have better lifestyle for themselves, will have a better connection to their land and to their job, rather than making money out of the cruel treatment of animals and planet. They will make money out of the plants and greens. So I think it's going to be better only.
I agree. I agree. And I think we in India needs, like, a bit of a policy change, a policy intervention also has to take place for these things to take place. Now, I mean, you mentioned about soya. We do produce a lot of soya in India. We're the fifth largest soya producers, and here what happens: 95% goes to either animal feed or it goes to export. We're not using it, and that is the place where government has the capability of making soya value added products, and adding value to it, and seeing a market, encouraging the farmers, or to add value to the existing soya and making it more commercially available and cheaper, so that people can afford and enable this kind of a lifestyle which is free from cruelty and sustainable as well. Thank you for that wonderful answer, Abhinav. um, so I would like to, again, we have 4 more minutes to go. I would really request, welcome the audience to ask a question that you would have to Abhinav. It can be as silly as well. Do not worry. There's no such thing called silly questions. So please do, we encourage you to ask questions.
Go ahead. Don't worry. I'm here for you. I think these guys were very smart. They know everything.
They know. Yeah, they know what's going on. I think in city, this is very prevalent, right? I mean, people are getting to know the word plant based and vegan, and people are aware, because people are becoming conscious, health and environmentally as well. I think when I turned plant based 10 years back, we didn't even have any alternatives. The most that was available was soya milk, and from Sofit. And apart from that, there were no products as well. So I see how the evolution of the entire vegan ecosystem has taken place, and it is now easier than ever to be plant based consciously in city. And it's available at your convenience. You can just order from Swiggy, from Blinkit, whatever apps, and it's just available at your disposal. So it's the right time for someone to be plant based.
Very true. Very true. Yes. And just try. I think I've said it many a times about not chasing that perfect vegan status,
Mm,
because there's nothing called perfect vegan. Vegan is a path, is every day you get up and you get to know a new way of how the industry has been doing cruelty for a new product, for a new thing, right? Like a car seat made with leather, you get to know,
mm,
right? The car you are using or going to buy, the leather seat is there. So something like that. So as long as you have come to this understanding that you are born with compassion default, and that default has to be activated always rather than deactivated compassion, and only when there's emergency I will no, the compassion has to be your activated core.
mm,
You will be able to find out your own answers. There will be so many different situations where if you are a staunch vegan, something who was like perfect vegan, you will not be able to sustain. But if you are somebody who knows that compassion is my default and I can learn, unlearn, find out the way to move forward and just be
mm,
a better version, I think we can win the world. And that's what we are trying here. That we are trying to build a world where there is no division between anything. Like people have been dividing vegan and non-vegan, right? The non-vegan and there's a vegan. We have removed that division. We say that I'll come to you. Abhishek. We say that we say in a community that vegan and non-vegan is a status for a product, not for a human. A
yeah.
product can be a non-vegan because there's a dairy in it. A human is not a non-vegan. Human can be maybe a pre-vegan, somebody who has not just reached to the vegan state, or that
True.
person can be a pro-vegan who has been already taking one step by one step, one step towards that person who is able to do. Or that person can be vegan
Mm,
activist. But let's not divide people and let's combine everybody, because nobody wants to die soon or want the planet to die or want all the heat to rise. Nobody is happy with what is happening. Everybody wants to do, but maybe their way of doing it will be little different than you and me.
mm,
So we need to inspire them to do what they can do for this, rather than I am doing this, you have to just do exactly what I'm doing. Everybody has to do what they can, and then I think we will have faster
absolutely.
changes.
Yeah, I
Over to
think that
Abhishek
is.
and Nati.
Yeah, I think that thought is not very what do you say? It's not very pressurizing to fit into a mold of saying only this if you do you're a perfect plant-based or vegan person, and do it as per your convenience. That also works. That's a great message.
Yes, Ashish, over to you.
Hey, Abhinav. Great to see you collaborating with Samayu. And I think this is what we need as a community collaborate and work with each other. Just wanted to ask you, since you have a great deal of experience and you are operating from a city which is minus 10% vegans, how difficult it is for any vegan business, and what are the best practices they can start with? Because it's not easy running a vegan business in the current scenario. So, what do you want to share for people who are aspiring to become an entrepreneur?
So I think that something which is very like happening in support of uh, businesses is that people can start from home. Previously, when there was anybody wanted to start a business, they were always like, if I should have a space, a shop, some kind of other facilities to produce or something like that. But these days, you can start from your home. You have these facilities like Zomato and Swiggy, which can just take up the food from your house. You have Blinkit and what is the other one? Blinkit and Swiggy, Genie, something like that.
Swiggy,
Swiggy Mart,
Zepto.
Instamart.
Zomato.
Zepto.
Zepto, right? Exact. Thank you. So you have these so that if you are making suppose tofu in your home, you just get the facile license, which is not very complicated in India, which is good and bad both, because it should be more strict. But people misuse that facile. But you can get facile for the good reasons, and just have your store in the Zepto and Blinkit and start selling tofu from your home. So I think we should use the power of technology and whatever is going on with e-commerce to be very quick in bringing solution to the world. Obviously, the effort has to go on marketing and everything. Where that's where the community angle comes, because so that you can have a community, you can launch your product, you can let them. But you don't have to think about I have to invest 1 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees to start a business. A business can start with just 10,000 rupees these days. If you just want to start one product, a tofu, just a milk, just something which you have found, and maybe start, and you can also get become a because these days there are so many brands, like for example Good Dot. They are always looking for their representative in the city. So if you have a good selling skills, you can just get connected to these brands and become their representative, and you just become the middle person here, the good middle person, right? That you have your storage of these things that people can buy. So many ways for people who want to do something about. So somebody is I heard from somebody that for doing any job there are two types of people. So a person who will make 100 excuses of how not to do it, and then the person who will just do it, right? So you have to choose that either you are the person who will make 100 excuses how I cannot do it, or either I will do it, and then I'll learn on that process, right? So I think we need a vegan movement with second type of people more. That's what I would say
Sure.
to start.
Thanks, Abhinav.
Thanks, Ashish.
Thanks, Ashish, for that wonderful question and beautiful response as well, Abhinav. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Abhinav, on behalf of Samayu, behalf of Food and You, behalf of the entire plant-based community and the animals and the environment, thank you so much for who you are and what you're doing. It's great work, and I'm so glad to know you and to have worked with you as well, and continue to work and build this, movement together. So, so glad to have you here. Thank you for taking your time out and enlightening the audience with your precious learnings and your journey. Thank you so much, Abhinav.
Thank you, Samayu and team. You are doing amazing job. You are like a chota packet, bada bomb. Small team are doing so many things. I know that you guys are doing a great job. So just keep doing it. Okay, we would need more Samayu. We would need more Ubuntu, and that's where we will win. So let's not stop it. The reason why we have not stopped this cafe in Calcutta, though there has been 100 times a reason to stop it. Again, same thing, 100 excuses to stop it,
Uh-huh.
because we didn't want somebody to say that there is nothing. So it's so because the first one will be always difficult one, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we wanted to remain at the space so that when somebody comes, we can give them support. We can tell them what it comes with, and the community and the customer. So let's keep building more and more people, and don't go back. Even if we have to go slow, sometime take the different track. Let's not stop working for this movement. We are just around the corner. So the change is going to come very soon. Very soon.
That's a powerful message to leave this call. Thank you, Abhinav. Yeah, very inspiring.
Thank you.
All right, everyone.
Have a
Thank you
great day,
so much.
everybody.
Have a great day ahead. Thank you.